I'm a firm believer that there's no one recipe for success. Meaning this specifically, there's no exact being the key word, blueprint when it comes to success. And furthermore, success itself is something that is very subjective. What one defines as being successful or as making it or as being a success is completely different than the man standing next to him. However, I would also warn you to be cautious not to diminish your idea of success out of fear or out of the doubt of your ability to accomplish whatever it is. But I believe that success is truly personal. Success is truly defined by what one values, by what one desires, by what one is pursuing, and by what one wants to become, by what one wants to contribute to the world. So having said that, there's not necessarily an exact recipe for success, like the way that you would, create, let's say bake something. There's exact ingredients, exact measurements, and if you can simply follow those directions, you will have your creation. But rather, there are elements of success. There are some consistent elements that you will find amongst the men who have accomplished great things. Certain elements, I believe the element of passion, I believe the element of discipline, the element of drive, the element of consistency, and the element of vision. Again, this list is not necessarily exhaustive, but these are the elements that I believe are necessary for you to accomplish whatever it is success is to you. And even so, you have to be careful with that word accomplishment, because you will find that success overall is simply a progression, a growing into a greater fullness of a particular outcome, of a particular vision, of a particular desire. Accomplishments then become the milestones of the path of continuous progression, continuous growth, and continuous success. DieZelNomics and the Live By Design concept came out of necessity. Really the necessity of life. The necessity of pushing forward, the necessity of survival, the necessity of thriving, the necessity of giving your gifts and talents and abilities to the world, a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment in living up to your potential. DieZelNomics, nomics, the root word meaning law, right? Law. So for example, economics, the law of money, how money works. So DieZelNomics came at a time in my life, or at least the concept came at a time in my life where I needed it more than ever. It wasn't something new. It was just simply something that was more needed perhaps in any previous point in my life up to that point. It's the concept of information, of inspiration, and of motivation, of information that if I could just get more information, if I could just get knowledge, right, more knowledge, somehow I could figure it out. I'd been told, as I had read different books and listened to different audio before, that if you could just find somebody else who had done it before, and if you could just learn how they had done it, that you could adopt and adapt and do the same things. You see, without knowledge, it's possible that one will walk in ignorance and literally just never know that. But the reality is that it goes beyond knowledge, right? It goes to what I like to call, or what I've come to believe is inspiration. Okay. Inspiration, I'm not going to tag any, religious idea to it, but inspired literally means to breathe in life. Right? And inspiration can come both internally through the things that we cannot really explain, but it can also come externally by simply seeing that somebody else did it. By simply seeing that somebody else made something happen, that somebody else did something exciting, that somebody else was able to dig deep and overcome, inspired, infused with life. And so I would watch others, read others, not because I wanted to be like them, but because at that particular moment, I once again needed to be inspired. And finally, motivation. Motivation is one of those things where it doesn't necessarily last forever. Don't get it twisted. If you were counting on being motivated all the time, well, you might be disappointed, because here's the thing about motivation. It can be sparked by numerous amounts of things. It can be sparked by pain. It can be sparked by pleasure. It can be sparked, again, similar to inspiration, by what's possible. But ultimately, I found that motivation comes internally. You must be self-motivated. You must see your vision and desire it, and it must motivate you, right? In other words, motivate, the root word to it goes back to what? Motives. What are your motives? What do you value? What do you believe in? And when you tap into those motives, that is your why. You will remain, you will stay the course of being self-motivated, of being driven, of doing whatever it takes, knowing that there's no such thing as failure. If you woke up and had a breath today, if you're breathing right now, there really is no such thing as failure, because guess what? You can go at it again. And you will find, as I have, that as you go at it again and again, every single day, you get better, you get stronger, you overcome. And you begin to enjoy the fruits of your labors. Sometimes work is just working on yourself. And then that working on yourself creates more value in you. It creates more ability in you so that you can go out and do more. You see, some people fall short of their goals because they simply have an idea of what it takes, not knowing that they themselves must change. They themselves must grow and become the true identity of what they seek to become. But ultimately, I believe the things that we seek to become, especially when they are noble, especially when they will benefit society and the world around us, is basically the internal calling of your own self anyway. In other words, it's possible, I should say, to simply create an idea and say, oh, this is what I want to be, not knowing that perhaps there's also some internal force, some internal vision at least, that's driving you towards that, because there's something and somebody, there's something that you're supposed to do. You know, you've heard the story many times of just how many things, go to the grave. So I would just encourage you today, make it the best day of your life. Right? Everything's not going to go perfect, but what I mean by that is just keep attacking it, because here's the thing, it's the only one promised anyway. So make it happen, enjoy it, but ultimately beyond today, know that that vision that you hold is possible. Right? Just keep moving towards it. Seek to, I would encourage you at least, to seek to be your best, and then while becoming your best, and all the gifts and talents and abilities that you possess and the vision that you see in your mind, as you do that, also seek to use that gift to benefit and inspire and uplift everybody around you, or if it be service, to serve those around you. If it be to just simply create wealth, create all that wealth so that you can do what needs to be done with that wealth as well. Make it a great day, and remember to live by design. Live by choice, not by chance.